Hi, I'm Dr. John Anderson. I'm in my early 60s now, and I want to start today's conversation with a number that has been on my mind for a long time. In the United States, 1 out of every 3 people over the age of 70 struggles with something called sarcopenia, silent muscle loss. It's not loud like a heart attack or a sudden fall, but it quietly chips away at our strength, our balance, and eventually, our independence. I've seen this over and over again throughout my decades of working with older patients. And maybe you, or someone you love, has felt it too. Have you ever stood up from a chair and suddenly felt your knees shaking, your feet unsteady? Or maybe after a trip to the grocery store, your hands, once strong and capable, now ache just from carrying a single bag. One of my patients, Helen, age 74, once told me, "Doctor, I still eat eggs every morning, so why does my body feel weaker and weaker? Why do I get exhausted after just a short walk?" Her question, I believe, is not hers alone. I know many Americans believe that eating more eggs is enough. And it's true, eggs are convenient, rich in protein, easy to cook, and familiar. But once you pass 70, your body no longer responds to protein the way it did at 40 or 50. Science calls this anabolic resistance, a kind of resistance to growth. It means that even if you eat enough protein, your muscles don't receive the signal to grow or even to maintain themselves. That's why so many of my patients, though eating properly, still feel weaker each day. What struck me most is how the Japanese age so differently. Even in their 80s, many still shop, sweep their yards, climb stairs, calmly, without strain. I remember during a trip to Kyoto, I met an 84-year-old woman. She told me she still wakes up early, cooks for herself, and walks to the market several times a week. Her secret wasn't eating piles of meat or eggs. It was a simple, traditional Japanese food: natto, fermented soybeans. I know for many Americans, just hearing the word natto makes you hesitate. It's sticky, it has a strong smell, and it's not easy to love at first taste. But within that strangeness lies its power. Imagine this: in a small bowl of natto, you have plant-based protein that's easy to digest, vitamin K that directs calcium into your bones instead of your arteries, and nattokinase, an enzyme that keeps your blood flowing, your heart strong, and your blood pressure steady, all wrapped into one humble dish, passed down for generations in Japan. English. Another patient of mine, James, age 76, tried natto after my suggestion. He told me, "At first, I had to hold my nose to eat it, but within just a few weeks, I noticed less pain, deeper sleep, and the strangest thing, I felt steadier on my feet when stepping down the stairs." I still remember the light in his eyes as he said that the key isn't just natto, it's how the Japanese pair it with daily movement. They don't hit the gym for intense workouts like the young do. Instead, they step into the garden, sweep the yard, or walk around the house. These small, steady movements, combined with the protein from natto, become a quiet conversation with their muscles. Keep working, stay strong, and the body listens. I want you to pause for a moment and ask yourself, what does my body really need at this age? Maybe it's not about more, but about better. Not piling on more eggs or meat, but choosing proteins that your body can hear and absorb more easily. Not exhausting workouts, but movements that send the right signal to your muscles. You are still needed. In my clinic, I often tell my patients, losing muscle isn't just losing strength, it's losing your freedom. When your legs grow unsteady, you hesitate to step outside. When your arms weaken, you need someone else to open a jar or carry your groceries. Slowly, your world shrinks down to just a few walls. I don't want that for any of us. We can't stop aging, but we can give our bodies what they need to keep moving with strength. For me, the lesson from the Japanese is simple: a bowl of natto, a gentle walk, a deep breath, small things, but over time, they build into lasting strength. So in this video, I want to explore with you why eggs are no longer the only answer after 70, and why natto, sticky and strong-smelling as it may be, has quietly become a powerful ally for your muscles, your bones, and your heart as you age. English. Before we go any further, let me ask you this: have you ever tried standing up from a chair only to feel your legs trembling? Have you wished you could walk just a little farther without stopping to catch your breath? If the answer is yes, then stay with me in this story, because I believe sometimes the solution isn't found in something flashy or expensive, but in the simplicity, patience, and wisdom of old habits. And who knows, maybe it's from something as humble as a bowl of fermented soybeans that we rediscover the strength we thought was gone. You see, for many years, eggs have been considered the gold standard of protein. I used to tell my patients to eat them often because they're inexpensive, easy to cook, and familiar. One egg has about 6 grams of protein, along with important vitamins and minerals. But then I realized a hard truth after age 70. The body no longer hears eggs the way it once did. I remember one patient, Robert, age 72, every morning he ate 2 boiled eggs with a slice of bread, thinking he was doing the right thing. Yet just walking from the parking lot to my office, his legs grew heavy and he had to stop to rest. His tests showed that his muscle mass was still declining even though his diet wasn't short on protein. The problem wasn't the amount of protein, but how his body was using it. Science calls this the leucine threshold, a signal needed to trigger muscle growth after eating. For younger people, 1 egg can easily cross that threshold. But after 70, digestion slows, and the enzymes that break down protein are less efficient. Eggs may be rich, but they don't always wake up the muscles anymore. As a result, many people who eat faithfully still find themselves growing weaker. Have you ever felt that eating well, yet not feeling stronger? This is where natto comes in as a solution worth considering. Just 50 grams of natto, about a small pack you'd find in a Japanese grocery store, offers nearly 8 grams of protein. But the real difference isn't in the number. The fermentation process transforms soybeans into a protein that's easier to digest, easier for the body to absorb, and more importantly, it comes with unique nutrients that eggs simply don't provide. For example, vitamin K2 in natto acts like a wise guide. It directs calcium to where it belongs, your bones, instead of letting it wander into your blood vessels, where it can cause dangerous blockages. I've seen many older women in the US drink milk faithfully, take calcium supplements, and still end up with osteoporosis and fragile bones. The missing piece was K2, and natto is rich in it. And then there's nattokinase, an enzyme found only in natto that research has shown can improve blood flow, lower the risk of clots, and help keep blood pressure steady. I once told this to a patient with high blood pressure. She tried eating natto a few times a week, and after 3 months, her pressure was more stable. Her cardiologist was amazed. Don't think of natto as just some strange foreign food. In truth, it's very versatile. Some of my patients like mixing it with warm rice, a splash of low-sodium soy sauce, and chopped green onions. Others stir it into miso soup to soften the flavor. One gentleman even added natto to his morning oatmeal and told me his knees felt less stiff. I know it sounds unusual, but sometimes it's the small habits that open the door to surprising results. Imagine this: in the morning, you take a gentle 10 to 15-minute walk around your home. Then you sit down, open a pack of natto, stir it until the sticky strands stretch out, add a bit of seasoning you like, and eat it right after your muscles have been awakened by movement. That is the golden moment, when your body is most ready to receive and use the protein from natto. I believe the strength of old age isn't about how much weight you can lift. It's about still being able to go grocery shopping on your own, open a jar without help, or hold your grandchild without shaky hands. And to keep that, we sometimes have to humbly admit, what worked at 40 may no longer work at 70. So instead of clinging only to eggs as your trusted source of protein, open your mind to natto, a humble food, strong in smell, yet rich with a tradition of sustaining strength across generations. And perhaps, within that simplicity, you may rediscover the steadiness in your legs and the strength in your hands. English, you see, aging is like a river slowing down. The water still flows, but not with the rush of youth. And that's when we must learn to move with the new rhythm, gentle, wise, without forcing against it. The same goes for how we eat. Many older Americans tell me, "Doctor, I don't want to change anymore, I'm used to the way I eat." And I understand that feeling. After a lifetime of eggs, meat, and milk, trying something like natto isn't easy. Its smell, its taste, even the cultural difference make people hesitate. But I often smile and ask them, if one small change today could help you stand stronger 10 years from now, would you be willing to try? I remember one patient, Margaret, age 79. She was hesitant about natto, saying, "It just doesn't fit the American taste." But as her knees grew more painful, she decided to try. At first, she mixed natto with rice and didn't quite like it. A few weeks later, she tossed it into a salad with sesame dressing and she loved it. Now, every time she comes in, she tells me she can walk farther, get up and down more easily, and proudly says, I've introduced natto to my whole retirement club. Do you see how a small change can ripple out? Sometimes, curiosity and the courage to try something new become the most valuable medicine in old age. I want you to imagine this. 10 years from now, you still open the door on your own. Step out to the porch and watch the sunrise. You don't need a cane. You don't need someone to steady you. You take a deep breath and walk with confidence. That image isn't out of reach. It begins with small choices, with the meals you eat today. An ATTO is not a miracle. It's just a tool, a humble food carrying the wisdom of centuries of Japanese culture. But when placed into the life of an older adult combined with movement and an open spirit, it becomes a key that helps the body resist the gradual weakening we all must face. So if tomorrow you're at the store and you spot a pack of natto in the freezer, don't just walk past it. Pick it up, try it once, and let your body give you the answer. English Bouse good health doesn't come from big dramatic decisions, but from small, steady steps taken consistently. Are you willing to make one small change today to gain independence, strength, and joy in the years ahead? I truly hope your answer is yes, and I look forward to seeing you in the next videos, where together we'll explore how to live healthier, deeper, and more meaningfully in the later years of life.